Hey guys, welcome back to Fantasy Tipped. My name is Julian, and this is the Weekend Ads episode for Week 6 of the fantasy season. Now, hopefully, you've gone along in your week and you've built yourself a nice big lead, so you don't even need to use this episode and you're just watching this to support me. But if you do need to make sure that you ensure your win this week, this video is the video for you. Before we get started, guys, please leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. Without further ado, let's jump right into the content and let's start with the schedule for this weekend. And as you can see here, on Friday there's only one game. On Saturday there are 15, and then on Sunday there are 2. So obviously, guys, probably at least, your lineup is full on Saturday. Almost every single team in the NHL is playing on Saturday, so your lineup probably is quite full. Friday and Sunday, however, are days that you definitely have room in your lineup, and those are definitely days that you're going to want to be targeting this weekend. As usual, I'm going to be taking a look at players that play Friday, Saturday, then Friday, Sunday, and then Saturday, Sunday, and then recommending players based on that. Now, there's only one team that plays both Friday and Saturday, and that's the Los Angeles Kings. And if you watched my waiver wire video at the beginning of the week, I was recommending that you pick up Los Angeles Kings players because they also played on the Monday and Wednesday off nights. If you did that, then you're already set for this weekend for the Friday and Saturday games. If you didn't add them at the beginning of the week, you can add them now. You definitely have room on your roster on Friday, and maybe you also do on Saturday. Either way, Friday there's only one game, so if you do need players to help you win this week, you're going to want to add some Los Angeles Kings, even if it's just for Friday. So Dano, Moore, and Albertson make up the second line in LA, and they're all pretty low rostered, so you definitely probably can scoop them up in your league if you need someone who plays that night. Then Arthur Kaliev plays on the fourth line, but has been really hot as of late. Makes for a good ad there as well. Matt Russ, 14% rostered. He's a guy who just puts up some solid peripherals, kind of all-around guy. He puts up a point every now and then as well, so he definitely could put up a point for you as well. Then Carl Grundstrom and Rasmus Kupari play on the third line alongside Kevin Fiala, and while they're not the best ads in the world, they're not too bad considering that you might be desperate to make an LA King ad and everybody else might already be owned. Now, the next part of the video is usually the most important part of the video because it's players that play both Friday and Sunday, and those days are usually the super off nights, and they absolutely are once again this week. The only thing is that there's just such off nights that there is no team that plays both Friday and Sunday, because the only teams that play Friday are Vancouver and the Los Angeles Kings, as we just saw. So if you want to add players for both Friday and Sunday, you're going to have to add players from either LA or Vancouver and then drop them for someone who plays on Sunday, because there is no one player that plays both days, unfortunately. Now, since I already suggested players from the LA Kings, here are some players that you could add from Vancouver for Friday night. Luke Shen, 45% rostered. He's been absolutely crazy, hitting a ridiculous amount, even putting up a lot of blocks lately and shots on goal. He's been someone who's very good at the peripherals and can even put a point every now and then, although I wouldn't bank on that. Then I have Kuzmenko and Mikheyev, and while his ice time has gone down a significant amount, Kuzmenko is still someone who is one of the more deadly players on Vancouver. He's not getting power play one time anymore, but if he starts to step up his game, you could see that again. He's playing with Pettersson and with Mikheyev on that line, and that line was on fire just a few games ago. Definitely could catch fire again. Connor Garland plays on the top line with JT Miller and Brock Besser. Definitely someone who could heat up as well. Oliver Ekman-Larsson is a defenseman who I'm not super high on, but gets a point every now and then and puts up just okay peripherals, but that might be enough for you. Tyler Myers, same kind of thing. Just okay peripherals, blocks, and hits a little bit, but that's about it. Then Sheldon Dries is now the third line center right now in Vancouver, and I'm not high on him at all, but if you're super desperate and nobody else above him in this list is available, he may be your best bet. Now, if you're watching this video a little bit later than when it comes out, and you need someone to really keep your team alive for both Saturday and Sunday, well, there are 4 teams that actually play both Saturday and Sunday. Those teams are Chicago, Columbus, Florida, and Pittsburgh. And these are actually the only 4 teams that play Sunday as well. So even if you're just looking for a player for Sunday, these are the only teams that play on Sunday. The number one guy that I would grab is Sam Bennett of the Florida Panthers, playing on their second line. Has been doing pretty good lately. He's definitely someone that I trust a lot. Hits a decent amount, shoots the puck a decent amount, give you a safe floor there, and as well, he puts up a decent amount of points. So that's definitely someone that I like a lot. Carter Verhaeghe has been absolutely killing it lately on the top line with Tkachuk and with Barkov. He is super, super hot. I could have even put him number one on this list. Like Carter Verhaeghe a lot. If he's not added in your league, definitely add him. Then I have Jason Zucker, who's one of the hottest players in the league right now. Has 6 points in his last 4 and 8 in his last 7, playing on the second line with Malkin. He's looking really good right now, and as long as he's hot, guys, definitely a great streamer for this weekend. Then Ricard Raquel plays on the top line with Gensel and Crosby. Great deployment. Someone who's been doing pretty well overall all year. Definitely someone that I like there as well. Then Boone Jenner of the Columbus Blue Jackets. He's someone who's also insanely hot right now. Probably could have ranked him above Ricard Raquel on this list. But either way, he's someone who's manning the top line and top power play in Columbus. And he's hot. Definitely someone I like. Jonathan Toews and Max Domi of the Chicago Blackhawks are guys that have been pretty good this year. Jonathan Toews has been very surprising. Second line, top power play, producing very frequently. And then Domi, who's a little bit streaky, but he seems to be possibly back on a hot streak with 3 points in his last 3 games. So that's a good sign. Then I have Anton Lundell playing on a line with Sam Reinhart as well as the second power play. And while he's not the best option in the world, he's definitely a pretty safe option. Definitely could put up a point or two for you. Then I have Jeff Carter and Brock McGinn of the Pittsburgh Penguins, both playing on the third line with each other. And Brock McGinn is kind of on a little bit of a hot streak lately. He's been scoring goals, looks like almost every single night. Jeff Carter is the safer option, though. He's the better player, and he does get more ice time than Brock McGinn. He is the safer option out of the two. Then Colin White of the Florida Panthers plays on the third line with Sam Bennett, and he has been pretty solid all year. So if you need someone, I'm not 100% banking on him getting a point, but he has been producing pretty frequently. Just don't expect a lot of peripherals. Then we're going to take a look at Emil Bemstrom, who's actually playing on the top line in Columbus with Boone Jenner and Johnny Gaudreau. In 3 games that he's played so far, he's been shooting the puck a decent amount to give himself a pretty safe floor. And honestly, at this point, I don't think it's too bad of an ad if you want to take a chance on him. Then I have Taylor Raddysh, who plays on the second line with Jonathan Toews. Also plays on the top power play, and even though he hasn't produced that much, the deployment is there and isn't the most terrible ad. And then I have Eetu Luostarinen, who does play with Colin White and with Sam Bennett on that third line. And while he hasn't been that amazing this year, he hasn't been atrocious either. Definitely could potentially put up at least a point in those 2 games. Jumping into defensemen to stream now, and first on the list is Jeff Petrie, who's actually been quite good this year. Despite not getting top power play deployment, he's been putting up some decent peripherals and has been putting up points. And Gustav Forsling, someone who has been really solid this year as well, without getting top power play deployment, still putting up decent peripherals and points as well. Radko Gudas is someone who hits a lot, blocks a decent amount of pucks. So if you are in a hitting league, he's a very, very good ad. If you're not, don't add him. Then Matt Roy of the Los Angeles Kings, who I already talked about a little bit, puts up some decent peripherals and a point occasionally. Caleb Jones getting top power play deployment in Chicago. Definitely someone to consider. Then I have Jake Bean of the Columbus Blue Jackets, who has been getting top power play deployment with Werenski out for the season. However, he just got injured as well. So if he does miss this weekend, I'm not saying that he will. You're going to have to keep an eye on his status. But if he does, I'll grab Marcus Bjork instead, who I think will be seeing that top power play time if Jake Bean misses. And over 2 games that he's played, Bjork actually has 2 points. So he's looking pretty promising. It's a little bit too early to tell, but perhaps he could be a diamond in the rough. Then I have Jake McCabe of the Chicago Blackhawks, who blocks a lot of shots, been one of the NHL leaders in block shots so far. Also gets you a little bit of other peripherals here and there. Not the worst ad. Sean Durzi is definitely someone who could put up points, plays PP2 in Los Angeles, but he's not someone that I love too much. Then Connor Murphy is someone who blocks a decent amount of shots and could put up some other peripherals as well. Nothing too crazy, but definitely not the worst ad either. If you want to stream a goalie for Sunday, there are 3 options that are a little bit lower rostered. Number 1 option that I would go with is Casey DeSmith, who plays Chicago on Sunday, assuming he doesn't get the start on Saturday against Winnipeg. If he does get the start, he's definitely the number 1 streamer. And then the number 2 goalie I have is Chicago goalie. And the reason I have Chicago goalie and not a specific guy written there is because it could be one of 3 guys. Chicago plays back-to-back games against Pittsburgh and then against Boston. So whoever gets Boston on Saturday obviously won't get the start on Sunday against Pittsburgh. Now, Mrazek and Arvid Soderblom have been splitting the goaltending duties pretty evenly in Chicago. So I'm not sure. One of them probably will get it. However, if Stalock is back from his concussion, it could be him getting one of those 2 games as well, which is why I'm not 100% sure who's going to get the game. But once that's confirmed, that would be the second best streamer for Sunday. And then number 3, I have Tarasov or Jonas Korpisalo. Now, Merzlikins left the game with an injury. So if it's serious, Tarasov will be called up. Now, one of those guys will get Florida on Sunday. The other guy will get the day before against Detroit. We're going to have to see who gets confirmed on Saturday, but the other guy will get the start on Sunday in all likelihood. Jumping into the categories league section of the video now, and if you need to catch up on shots on goal or you want to make sure that you maintain your lead in shots on goal, these are the best guys to add. Number 1, Sam Bennett, who shoots 3.7 times per game. Number 2, Boone Jenner, 3.6 shots per game. Number 3, Rickard Rakell, 3.3. Forsling, 3.2. Trevor Moore, 3.1. Carter Verhaeghe, 2.7. Jason Zucker, 2.7. Victor Arvidsson, 2.4. And then we have Emil Bemstrom, 4.0. And I told you that over 3 games, he shot the puck a really nice amount so far. It's a very small sample size, but if you do want to take the risk on it, he has been shooting a lot. If you need blocks, the number 1 guy is Jake McCabe. He gets you about 3 blocks per game, and over 2 games, that'll be about 6 blocks, which is pretty good. Then Connor Murphy, 2.6. Alec Martinez, 4.4. Only plays 1 game this weekend, but still better than the guys below him because he blocks just so freaking much. Brian Dumoulin, 2.1. Jeff Petrie, 2.0. Matt Roy, 1.9. And then Marcus Pettersson, 1.9. You're kind of grasping at straws there, though, if you're trying to grab one of those guys for block shots. If you need hits, the number 1 guy to add is Jared Tenorti. This year has been hitting 4.4 times per game. Absolute monster. Then Radko Gudas, 3.3, Petrie, 3.2, Josh Archibald, 3.1, Boris Kachuk, 2.9, Jason Zucker, 2.8, Reese Johnson, 2.8, and Carl Grunstrom, 2.7. If you need face-off wins, the number 1 guy to add is Jonathan Taves. Wins 12 face-offs per game. Boone Jenner, 11.2. Domi, 8.7. Dano, 8.5. Carter, 7.9. Roslovic, 7.7. Lindell, 6.1. Paling, 5.8. And then Blake Lizotte, 4.8. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. Really appreciate it. Please leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. And if you do want to take your support to the next level, you can follow me on Patreon. The link is in the description below. Thanks so much, guys, and I'll catch you in the next episode of Fantasy Tipped.